Ginger again from Web Wench DIY Nails. This is going to be a manicure for my left hand. At this point I've done my builder gel fill, and I've prepped my nails before that, obviously, and I've applied the Peel base. I worked on my shaping a little bit with this builder gel fill, creating more of a narrow coffin because my nails are longer now. My plan was to use this triple thermal from Sparkle & Co. called Northern Lights. I did a unboxing just recently, posted to the site a video unboxing of this haul that they just had all kinds of stuff on sale that I wanted, so I treated myself. Northern Lights is a triple thermal, and I love these sensitive triple double thermals just because it's interesting to see throughout the day how the colors change. This Northern Lights is also a glow-in-the-dark triple thermal. So my plan was I was going to have an accent or some kind of design using Ocean Child, also from Sparkle & Co. It's their August 2022 color. I'm not an affiliate or anything. This is not a sponsored video. I just love Sparkle & Co.'s products. So I prep everything by stirring it. I've noticed that anything with glow-in-the-dark tends to not be as fluffy of a powder. So I give a lot of attention to stirring those. There's the Peel base and the triple, or this is a thermal builder gel from Dippsters called Villain. It flows from a lighter purple to a darker purple. This way, if my pop-offs happen when I'm out or whatever, I still have a manicured looking nail underneath. And sometimes I run around with just builder gel because I get lazy, I don't feel like doing manicure, and it's perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned as a manicure by itself. So here I'm using Dippsters gel base to apply the dip powders, and when I use gel this way I tend to either pour over, or as you see I do here, I use my makeup brush to tap over because I think it's the glow-in-the-dark pigment that makes the powder less fluffy than I like. So you saw me start with the spoon. I figured it just felt too dense. So I figured if I was tapping it off of an eye makeup brush, it would be a little bit thinner. That's what I thought. I don't know if I should have continued, like when I saw the wet gel, I touched up those spots with more powder. I don't know if that was necessary. I think I might have gotten a thicker application than I expected because I kept doing that. But everyone's videos I've seen does that. So I wanted a good coverage. I probably could have gotten away with one layer, but as you'll see, I go through the rest of the nails. I finished the first, and it's all the same application. It's a thin layer of gel base, and then I tap the powder off onto the gel. And the thumb I cure separately, just because I didn't want it to self-level in an awkward way while I did the other nails. And I go on to continue doing the first coat on the rest of the nails. I try to keep the gel thin, but as you'll see later on with this manicure, I was not consistent about starting with the gel midway up the nail and working my way towards the cuticle. That tends to keep it thinner back there. I forgot and I started back there, so I got more bulk than I wanted. This one I slowed down a little bit just so you can see. This is the best collection of all three colors showing. You can rewind and look again if you want, but you can still see it here. There's a rosier purple between the green and the dark purple. The dark purple looks almost navy sometimes. It's a very interesting blend. I love the thermals just because it's the look of an ombre without the effort. It's all done for you already. All you have to do is put it on your nails and it does the rest like magic. When I was watching this and doing the voiceover, watching it over again, I see that my layers with this gel were not as thin as I thought they were. They were definitely not as thin as they could have been. And I'm all about saving myself time and filing. I don't... Usually when a manicure looks wonky, it's because we didn't take enough time to file. I'm guilty of this myself. What's been happening, the trend here, has been that I will do the initial application that we're watching here, and then full all the way through to top coat, and the next day or two later I will go in and perfect the filing. I look at it for about a day to figure out what needs to be done to fix it. I have the time to do that. I work from home during the day, so it's not like anybody's seeing it, really. If I were to go out or if I was doing this for an event, I would take the time and do it right the first time. I've also, this is the second coat I went through. Yeah, this is the second coat. I don't think it was necessary. I think I could have gotten away with one coat, and I probably should have to keep the bulk down. But what's been happening is that a day after I do the initial manicure, I'll go in and I'll refile and reshape, and I'll either do a design on it then, or I'll wait another day or so and do a design then. And, you know, that usually means filing down a little bit and filing the shine off. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on what I decide to do. But I do it in steps because it's just easier for me that way, this way. Otherwise, you're looking at a 5-6 hour nail session, and I can't do that. So my body won't let me do that. So after the 2 coats of powder are on the nails, I go in with the gel base coat and I put a liberal coat over the second layer of powder. And the reason I do this is because I do actually go in and buff and file. And, you know, rather than take the color off, I put this base coat on. Now, when you're using dip liquids, you would probably go over this with a encapsulate everything in a layer of clear dip powder. But you can't use clear dip powder with gels because it will leave a speckled look. So unless that's what you're going for, you're probably going to want to use just the base coat, just a layer of base. I let it self-level just to give me an idea of where the apex is supposed to be. And before I do my buffing and my shaping, I go in with an alcohol on a lint-free wipe and I take off that sticky layer that the base gel leaves, because you don't want that sticky layer on your nail when you take your files to it, because you will gunk up your files. So you make sure that sticky layer is gone, and then then you're free to go in and buff and file your shape, your contour. One thing I will caution you is if you are doing a gel manicure, gel doesn't get as hard as dip liquids with the powder. So when you start to buff and file, you don't go crazy. Don't go as hard as maybe you're used to when you use the dip liquids. Some gels buff like butter. It really takes a lot less effort. That's one of the reasons I do it. You'll see here I started with the coarser side, and then I look and I'm like, oh wow, did I get down to the color already? So you just got to be a little careful, a little bit more gentle. And I always go around my cuticle. I go around the base of the nail to get the shape correct. I've noticed you can really, it really sets off a manicure if you can get that area, the curve around the cuticle area on both sides. If you get that right, you're looking at a nice manicure. Again, my goal has always been to do a salon quality manicure. So I know that one of the things that they do in the salon is if they're good, they usually set back a little bit from the cuticle, let it breathe. They don't cover it with product, and they get that shape, that line around the cuticle right. I worry about contour. I worry about taking the sides down so the nail isn't wider just because it's got powder on it. And I literally, these are my real nails under the builder gel. And my real nails are like claws in that as they get longer, they start to almost curl under. So, and I kind of like that. I mean, either I'm used to it or I just kind of like how primal it is. But I do try to, you know, normalize that a little bit by using the file flat underneath. I was going to include some filing in this video, but apparently I have not learned where the frame is still on my nail table, so it was mostly out of frame, so that was useless. Sorry, I'll try again. And after the buffing is complete and the filing's done, you got your shape down. You see what I mean by the bulbous area near the cuticle here. The day after I did this, I went in and I corrected that with just filing that area upwards towards where the apex should be, and I created the apex that way. This is just a gel top coat. Or I did the base coat first. I might have done another coat of base so that the top coat has something to stick to. When you're done filing, you don't want to file, when you're using gels, you don't want to buff your nails completely smooth because the gel base needs something to stick to, so it should be a little abrasive for that reason. And then after your base coat, you can go in and do your top coat, which is what I did here. And here we go in with some cuticle oil. Gotta keep those cuticles healthy, and everything else is healthy underneath. I apply cuticle oil 2 to 3 times a day. And there we have it. Northern Lights. And I'm so proud of myself to use an alcohol wipe to get the oil off my nails just for the final shot here. Usually I forget and the oil is still on the nails and it looks like I messed up the manicure, but that's not the case. So here we have a tricolor thermal. It was cold, air conditioning. So, you know, the warmth of my fingers are making the one side green, and the cold of the air conditioning is bringing the tips to like a navy blue, dark purple color. So it's hard to catch all 3 at once, naturally, without using a temperature change. Here's just a fun little short I did. You might have seen on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram. Just what it looks like when it comes out of the light with the UV, activating the glow in the dark, and then what this looks like in the dark. The glow is very noticeable, very distinct, and with my top coat you can see it's also shining. So that was pretty cool. This is a great glow. And as the colors change, you do see that when you're in the dark. you see where the different areas are glowing different shades. That's sign language for I love you, by the way. And finally, the next day or so, before I filed the shape to where I like it, I took some photographs. And I shared those on Instagram as well. So if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, if you play this in the background as you do your own manis, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss what I do in the future. And like this video so I know to make more like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's going to be my right hand with woods and wine, by the way. Bye-bye.